Hi, this is Burkhard from Heisenware, and in this short video I want to show you the data tiles widget. In order to get started, I recommend, for example, using the simulator to get some simulated data in, and I always like to use the random address data. So I'm just dragging it here, and I look at what is the output. It's an array of object with some randomized address information in here. In order to start a bit easier, I will reduce the number of entries to only 4. That should be sufficient. And let's say we want to visualize this object data, which is an array of 4 objects in the moment. We could use a lot of widgets, but this time we want to look at data tiles. So I selected the data tiles widget, and I will start by simply dragging this array of objects onto the data tiles. And you see already the tiles are coming up, and the tiles are actually running out of this widget, which is the anticipated idea, because they do not fit actually the widths here, and so they will just render underneath each other. Depending on the screen that you have, the tiles will render differently. So if I'm, for example, editing the tablet view, you can see the data tiles arranging in a different fashion. Now, for alignment purposes, by default, data tiles render or are aligned to the left. This is nice if you want, for example, align other items so they will have exactly the same position. If you don't want to have this but have the data tiles more or less as a central element, you can go to the options and change this justification of the entire tiles. You could, for example, center them, or you could put them on the right side, or you can have them evenly spaced, and so on, so on. You can play with this yourself. Let me center these guys for the time being. And what you can also do is you can explicitly give the tile width if you want to do so. By default, an automatic width and height of the tile is calculated, but say you want to have it a bit wider, you could do so and saying I want to have each tile at least 400 pixels wide, and then here in this case it doesn't fit anymore, and they render underneath each other, which is expected. Or you have a 300 width, and you have a nice view here. Let's leave it like this. Second, you can also change the tile height explicitly, which I'm not doing here in this short video. But maybe what's important is if you want, you can say my form data that is actually in here should not go into one column, but should distribute among several columns. And then it starts looking like this. I think that's clear. As usual, you can play with the label location. You can put, for example, a left label. Then you have to change the mode to static, actually to outside. And then you will see again a different styling. And yes. So also, as with data grid and also data list, you can make these tiles updatable, so editable while it's shown. I will skip this for the moment in this video. Let's go back to this setting and let it have floating widget, floating labels, so we save space. Other than that, I want to show you quickly that you can also configure a title, because tiles are not to be hidden. They will be always present on the screen. So sometimes you want to have a nice title that it's clear what's going on, and then you can select any fields from the data to be the title. You could, for example, say here I want to have the city as a title, and then automatically a title is shown. And then also, as usual, you can play with the auto-detected data fields that you have. You can start hiding So if you, for example, have the city now being shown as a title and you want to hide it, you can just click the visibility button, and then the city is gone from these tiles, and you are having the city only as a title here. Maybe also interesting to know is that you can within the tiles span, for example, an element over several columns. It makes no sense in this one column view, but if I put, for example, column span 2 here, and I just go back into the setting where I say I have 2 columns, you see the street is spanning now the 2 columns because I told it to span the entire tile. Yes. Other than that, you can also change, of course, the widget style. So building number here, it actually wrongly detected it as a date time. We don't want to have it as a date time. We want to have it as a text. So you can explicitly force the type of the widget to be a different one. Yes, so I think this is everything I wanted to show you about the tiles. Yeah, dig deeper if you want. Play with other data. You can also play with the random person data, I think it's called. Where is it? Random person data, yes. Because this will have, for example, another media type if you want. It will create, let me also put 4. It will namely also create images within the data. You can see it here as base64 encoded strings actually, and if you visualize such a thing as a tile, you will see the avatars here, the simulated avatars here coming up also as an image rendered. And in case you have this, you can also set the justification within the tile to be, for example, centric, and so on. Have fun playing. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.